So if the Rothschilds have controlled Western print media for, a couple centuries or more, then it's definitely within the realm of their ability to influence and affect what release or version of the most printed book in the world's history gets the most popular, gets to become the most popular. And if you wanted to control the narrative of anything, then you want to provide your own commentary, just like news media does every night of every day of the week. So the whole idea of a study Bible with study notes would accomplish that goal of, okay, here's what you need to think about this. I mean, that's basically what we do with everything. Preaching is basically commentary, right? So it's just getting that into one codified form and reproducing it, publishing it, pushing it, popularizing it. And the devil does that with all kinds of things, music artists, media of all types. So it's definitely within the realm of his ability and his realm of influence, and how he does that in the same way in other arenas, right? So it makes sense that if the devil wanted to affect eschatology and embed some doctrines of demons into our eschatology, which he does, right? I mean, that's what he does. That's what's revealed. That he could do that through a study Bible that has a bunch of truth in it, right? Obviously, but it's got some very, very dangerous falsehoods and deceptions in it. How that figures into foreign policy? Well, if you think about dispensationalism hinges on the PreTrib rapture. Therefore, to understand that right now is the church age, and therefore after the rapture, and this church age is all about the Gentiles, and then after the rapture, then it shifts to only focusing on God's plan, dealing with only the Jews. So if that is the case, then you can see how the whole concept of Zionism, the modern idea of Zionism, not a biblical Zionism, but a modern secular Zionism, can form. That's based on some biblical interpretation, where the Jews have to have their place. And so that idea rose in the late 1800s and gained ground, and finally came to fruition, right, through the Balfour Declaration. So the Balfour Declaration has some fishiness to it. It's kind of a quid pro quo with bringing the Americans into the war, and we'll give a tract of land for the Jews, that kind of thing. So yeah, even the deal of the Balfour Declaration kind of speaks to some underhandedness or some ulterior motives, we'll say. But Zionism, can grow out of that. But how's our foreign policy and Zionism, how's that affect how we deal with the rest of the world? That's a big conversation, isn't it? Right? However, the Bible is clear that Jesus will be dealing with the Jews when he returns, but it's not going to be an exclusive thing. During the last 7 years, it's not that the Gentile church is out of here. It's that the entire church, Messianic Jews and Gentiles and the whole world is going through this together. And at the very end, Jesus returns, and then he deals with the Jews all at once. When they look upon him whom they've pierced, and they ask him, "Where'd you get these wounds?" And he says, "I got it in the house of my friends." And then they mourn and weep as one, for their firstborn son. So, yeah, he's coming back, and he's going to redeem and restore a remnant of Jews. There is that program, right? but there's not these segmented sections in history of I'm only going to deal with the Gentiles here and I'm only going to deal with the Jews here. It culminates in the big Jewish restoration and a messianic kingdom from Israel. Yes, all that's there, right? But the way it affects, the way dispensationalism affects our foreign policy, that's a really big conversation. And you can say that the Schofield or Dake Bible had a lot to do with establishing dispensationalism, hinging upon a PreTrib rapture. You can kind of trace domino effects, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I don't know how much of that would be considered the enemy's plan, or how much of it would just be like, a happy accident or something, I'm not sure. But the fact that something got so popular in print media, might need to be criticized, might need to be examined a little bit as to the origins and all that. So, why Billy Graham became Billy Graham? Because a message got sent to someone in print media in LA to say, Puff Graham. Without that, Billy Graham, who knows what he would have been. But Billy Graham became that way because somebody at an upper echelon level decided that we were going to push him. So Christian popularity sometimes is based on ungodly decisions made by ungodly people. I don't know. Anyway, those are just my musings.